Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. Tuesday did see the return of the Open Great League, and you can see on the screen, in my first 5 sets, I went a 21-4, pretty impressive run, and we all know, since the beginning of PvP, Swampert Skarmory has been a fantastic core. It is the core I did use to reach Legend in Season 8 and Season 9, only using Shadow Pokemon. However, I have since modified that core, and I've replaced Skarmory with Forretress. So why do I think Forretress is better in this meta? Stuff like Walrein was obviously a lot more problematic for Skarmory, and its bug steel typing is still pretty good at covering Swampert's weakness to grass. It still double resist grass, which is absolutely fantastic, and it just has a bit better play against things like Obstagoon, Umbreon, Walrein. So I think this core now of Swampert Forretress is super OP. As you can see, it was 24 or 21-4 run, and we are utilizing XL Shadow Sableye, and once again, Forretress really covers Sableye's weakness to Charm. So this line of 3 is fantastic. I did feature a video last season, and once again this season it is absolutely smashing it. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1 we pick up a pretty decent lead against Medicham. These bug bites do hit for neutral. We are taking neutral from counter as well. The opponent does go straight pop, so I bring in Sableye to get that motherfucker to switch out. After dumping their energy, they switch really late into Swampert. They no shield. Yeah, this is a Shadow Sableye, good buddy. So you have fucked up. We're just going to shield this Hydro Cannon up. We should be able to Shadow Claw down before they make a second move. Just as they're reaching the second Hydro Cannon, Shadow Sableye does farm down. And in the back, they have a second ground type in Unova Stunfisk. This is absolutely G to the fucking G. We are going to spam out these foul plays. Shadow Sableye hit so fucking hard. I now make an aggressive swap into my Swampert to obviously bring back out the Medicham. So these Hydro Cannons are going to really start chunking. We've already drawn the opponent's last shield. I know this is just a pop, as they did switch out after rebuilding up to a pop, so we do tank that. We're going to be able to tank this next move as well. Pop will not KO. We're going to take him out with a Hydro Cannon. We've got a super healthy Forretress and that Sableye in the back, and we've still got a shield. So see you later, Medicham. Back out comes the Unova Stunfisk, and the opponent quits the match. So off to a 1-0 start. Moving on into game number 2, we see the Charmer in the lead. This is absolutely great. I imagine they are going to try and catch. They do not. They are staying in. These mirror shots, despite being a garbage move, do hit for double super effective. They do eventually swap out into a Marowak, and I am choosing to bring in Swampert. Obviously, both Pokemon do have a good matchup, but I'm choosing to come in with Swampert, as I know I can take him out with one Hydro Cannon and have a Hydro Cannon ready for the return in Ninetales. So see you later, Alola Marowak. Back out does come the Ninetales. I'm just going to spam out a Hydro Cannon. I could go Sludge Wave, but Hydro Cannon will do almost enough to KO. The opponent is getting super greedy. You're trying to farm down the goat, and the goat isn't done. One more Hydro Cannon. We mud shot down. What is in the back? In the back is a Poison Jab, Alola Muck. So I do bring in Sableye. We do resist Poison Jab, and Power Gem would hit for neutral. Another impressive win. Moving on into the next battle, we see Diggersby. Diggersby really is not something that Forretress wants to see, as we are double weak to fire. We attempt to catch a fire punch, and we actually catch the work of Earthquake. I didn't shield, and it's pretty good that I did not shield, as we really don't want to see a Azumarill. We get off a Power Gem, and we are about to get farmed the fuck down. Not ideal. We're in a bit of a tricky spot here. I am going to come in with Forretress. I'm hoping they don't run Hydro Pump. We're about to find out. They are on Hydro Pump. You can see it lands, but Shadow Forretress is really bulky. My RVs are pretty decent. So we tank the Hydro Pump. We are going to take them out with an Earthquake, and now I'm spamming out Swampert. Back out comes the Diggersby. They are staying in. I'm expecting them to bait, but as they're staying in, they must have something weak to Swampert in the back. They do bait. We are going to outpace, so we're going to get double baited. This motherfucker is still going to lose this matchup. They are definitely weak to Swampert in the back, so we do fire off another Hydro Cannon. The opponent chooses to shield once again, so at this stage I'm more than happy to shield up. Even if they bait, we're going to outpace to the next Hydro Cannon, and Hydro Cannon from a Shadow Swampert should KO the super bulky Diggersby. Get fucking wrecked, Diggersby. What is hiding in the back? And it is a Shadow Ninetales, another channel favourite, but as you're on the opponent's team, get fucking wrecked, and that is another dub. Moving on into the next one. We see the Walrus in the lead. This is the reason that I have swapped to Forretress rather than Skarmory, as Forretress does resist ice, whereas Skarmory does take neutral. They need to go all the way for a non-stab Earthquake to do any meaningful damage, and you've seen, like in the last video, or last battle I should say, we tanked the Hydro Pump like a fucking champ, so you can throw an Earthquake, buddy, I don't give a fuck. They actually bait with an Icicle Spear. That isn't the play. I believe this is going to be the Earthquake will KO from this range, however, you all know that the GOAT is going to do GOAT things with an energy lead, so I do Mud Shot down, they bring in Nidoqueen. I'm not sure that is the counter that you are looking for. Hydro Cannon does draw the shield. This is just a Poison Fang. Despite having 2 shields, I'm not shielding up a resisted Poison Fang. The opponent is still staying in, so I overfarm before they get to the second Poison Fang. Hydro Cannon comes through. Hydro Cannon lands. See you later, Nidoqueen. In the back is a Galarian Stunfisk. Hello, Bear Trap. Eat Hydro Cannon. It lands. We now switch out into Sableye with 2 shields, and the opponent realizes their basic bitch meta team is absolutely fucked. Moving on into the next battle. We see a poor man's Swampert in the lead. I say poor man's Swampert. Shout out to Jeff Love if you're watching. You all know that I don't really believe that Politoed is the Pokemon you want to be using. It's essentially a shit version of Swampert. So we are going to tank these Weather Balls with the nerf. They don't do too much. I go straight for the Earthquake. Forretress manages to take that, and they come in with a Jellicent. This isn't ideal. A Swampert doesn't want to see Jelly. Neither does Politoed for that matter. So I do just let myself get farmed down. We actually get a attack drop, which is great. We can now come in with Sableye, even a Shadow Ball, which is neutral. After the debuff won't KO, but they actually fire off a Bubble Beam. This should be the Shadow Ball this time, but I'm still not shielding as I will survive. Shadow Ball lands. You can see we're still in the yellow. In the back is a Talonflame. Swampert in the 2 shield is going to have no problem cleaning this matchup. I am going to shield in case they go for the sneaky Brave Bird. I think the only way they do win this matchup is if they land the Brave Bird. So I am going to shield up absolutely everything. We will outpace as well. So they're now once again at the Brave Bird. I am going to fire this off. Let's see if the opponent wants to let it go. They do not, which is fine for me. I'm going to shield up this second move. It once again will be probably a Flame Charge bait. However, I'm going to overfarm. Before they get to the Flame Charge, Hydro Cannon will be enough to take out this Talonflame. See you later, Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death. I'm now going to spam out a Hydro Cannon against the Jellicent, switch out into Sableye, and this foul play is going to be enough to take that game. GG's, and thanks for playing. So we might be in the season of Spice, but we're just seeing basic meta shit, and to be honest, this team is absolutely fucking wrecking them. Moving on into the next one, we see Double Legacy Dugong, although I do think it's a great pick, especially in Sylph. Everyone's got access to it now because of the Go Battle Day. It really doesn't have a great matchup against Forretress, especially when they're going Icy Wind. They should at least build up to the neutral Water Pulse, but Water Pulse is absolutely garbage, and it wouldn't KO anyway. But I don't think just spamming out the Icy Wind is the play. They now make an aggressive swap into Deoxys. We're going to bring in Sableye. We're going to tank this Thunderbolt, no problem. I'm going to overfarm as much as possible. I'm going to fire off this foul play just before they get to the Psycho Boost. This takes out the Deoxys. Now, if they come back in with the Dugong, which does have a move, they are going to be forced to dump it as we're almost at the foul play. They do dump their energy, which is fine for me. We're going to allow Sableye to go down as it's done its job. We can now come back in with the Forretress, which does have some residual energy, and in the back is a Talonflame. You saw this last time out in the 2 shield. Swampert is absolutely going to win this, and very kindly the opponent doesn't waste my time and we win the match. Moving on into the next one. We see Beedrill in the lead. If you saw my latest short that I uploaded, Beedrill is another Pokemon I did run this morning. Oh, in the early hours, I was on nights. But either way, that is a Pokemon we are going to be showcasing. I think Beedrill is absolutely fantastic in this meta as well. It did exit with a move. We switched into our Sableye here. These neutral Power Gems do alright damage against Umbreon. However, they are going to overfarm, which isn't great. However, I'm going to come in with Forretress and look to commit to the Bug Bite down. This Umbreon does have residual energy, so they are going to get us fairly low. You can see that we are going to Bug Bite down. We might have to take 2 moves. However, Forretress is a tank. It will tank 2 foul plays, no problems. They do make the second one. I'm still not going to shield. We're going to put it all on the goat to do goat things in the back. I now make an aggressive swap into Swampert. The opponent doesn't switch out, so we get a bit of farm. The Beedrill did exit with energy, so I made an aggressive swap to catch up. Hydro Cannon does draw a shield. We have 2 shields, and I know opponents love to bait shadows. I'm calling the X-Scissor bait. It is an X-Scissor. We do survive. I am going to just keep spamming out Hydro Cannons. This should KO Beedrill from this range. At least our mud shots are hitting for neutral due to their poison bug typing, and we are resisting poison jab. I am going to have to shield up an X-Scissor at this stage. The opponent makes an aggressive swap now into Registeel. This is a bit tricky. The Beedrill is 2 poison jabs away from the next move, which is very important to note. I come in with the Forretress, hoping to outpace to the Earthquake. I'm going to choose to shield this up. I'm going to overfarm as much as possible. I am counting lock-ons. I think they're around 2 or 3 turns away from the Focus Blast. Earthquake takes them out. Beedrill is going to have to dump their energy. You can see they overfarmed on the CMP. Great counting from the opponent, but they're now 3 away from the next move. Swampert has the move banked, and this is going to be enough to take the game. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see channel favourite Shadow Drapion in the lead. They switch out into Vigoroth, so we come in with Sableye. Forretress doesn't have a bad matchup against Vigoroth, however I chose to come in with Sableye as obviously it does want to avoid the Drapion. This matchup's kinda neutral. We do single resist counter, they double resist Shadow Claw. However, Bulldoze is a bit garbage and Foul Play is a decent move, so we should win this matchup if they don't choose to shield. However, the opponent has chose to shield, and I'm just going to let my boy Shadow Sableye go down, as we're going to be able to come in with Forretress. We will Bug Bite down. They're only going to be able to make a Body Slam, which is resisted. You are going to see if they even made it, it wouldn't do too much damage, but we actually Bug Bite down before. They bring in Medicham, so we're going to go straight for the nuke of Earthquake. Earthquake lands. It does huge damage. These Bug Bites are really starting to dig in. We don't need to be worried of anything, as Pop isn't the play, and we do resist Ice Punch and Psychic. I'm looking to Bug Bite down. We do Bug Bite down. I'm going to go straight for the nuke of Earthquake. So the opponent is going to have to give up their last shield or get nuked. They choose to shield it up, and we can now come in with Swampert, and we're sitting pretty. Pretty, that's a good word or good phrase, isn't it? But either way, we're not going to shield the first move, as we don't want to get debuffed or have a lower defense. It doesn't really matter. And we 2-shield flex. You love to see it. I didn't shield, as normally you wouldn't want to shield the first crunch. We had 2 shields anyway, and it was their last Pokemon. But in general, against opponents that have a move that can lower your defense, you don't want to shield the first one, as the second one would do more damage. So moving on into the next battle, the opponent led Walrein into our Forretress. They switched out into Diggersby Stunfisk. They caught the Mirror Shot, which was a great play. So in return, I CMP tied on the Earthquake. So Swampert takes out the Diggersby Stunfisk. In the back is a Cresselia. We are going to fire off this Hydro Cannon. We should CMP tie on the second Hydro Cannon, as we did leave with residual energy. The opponent chooses to let it go. It was a CMP tie. I could be really cheeky and Mud Shot down, but I'm not going to do that, as this isn't a Swampert showcase. We could allow Swampert to sweep the entire team, but we're not going to do that today. So we come in with Sableye. Icicle Sphere lands on the Sableye. I'm not going to shield this up. I was attempting to catch. However, we didn't do it, so I'm going to fire off this Foul Play. Foul Play will draw a shield, and if you don't succeed at first, try again. We bring in Forretress. There's absolutely nothing this opponent can do. Mirror Shot is going to draw the shield. It lowers the attack, and the opponent realizes that they are fucked, and that is a good game. Moving on into the next one, we see Umbreon in the lead. We have advantageous typing, however, with its 6 million HP, this matchup isn't as good as you would imagine. They're actually on Dark Pulse as well, which does hit a bit harder. These Bug Bites are doing quite a lot of damage, and I'm going to go straight for the nuke of Earthquake. The opponent chooses to shield it up, which is fine. We will survive this next Dark Pulse. I've got no intentions of shielding, especially if they're on Dark Pulse. It means I can come in with Swampert and overfarm a bit better, as it's 4 to every Dark Pulse, whereas Foul Play is 4-3 for free. Like I always say, kids, say in school, learn your counts, as it will really help you out. The opponent chooses to double shield, so they must be super weak to Forretress in the back, but either way, I'm going to take my 2-shield advantage. So like I said, it is 4 to the next Foul Play, or Dark Pulse, sorry. So I'm going to shield this up. I'm going to overfarm as much as possible. So just as the 4th Snarl comes through, we're going to take out Umbreon with this Hydro Cannon. Swampert was at pretty much 100 energy. They have a Walrein. in the back. So I'm going to nuke it with a Sludge Wave. When I say nuke it, it's going to do decent damage. And now switch out into my 2 shielded Sableye. They bring in Galvantula. Hi Galvantula. Bye Galvantula. This is why you love to see Power Gem get fucking wrecked, Spider. Back out comes the Walrein. I do have a shield, but I'm still not going to use it. Icicle Sphere doesn't take us out. They are going to have to dump their energy to take us out. I'm just going to shield up now and Shadow Claw down to get rid of this opponent and move on to the next one. And once again, we see the Walrus in the lead. We've seen this matchup play out various times in the video. I'm just going to spam out some mirror shots. Hope the opponent chooses to bait as I'm not shielding. Let's see if this opponent is going straight Earthquake. They do go straight Earthquake. You can see it doesn't do that much damage. We do survive it nicely. They bring in a Toxicroak. So I'm choosing to come in with Sableye. We do tank the Mud Bomb, no problem whatsoever. These Shadow Claws are absolutely shredded and this resisted foul play will do big damage. The opponent lets it go and you can see we do manage to Shadow Claw down. So we have maintained alignment. We are going to be able to get off a foul play against this Walrein. They choose to use their first shield. We can now come back in with the Fortress. This is going to be an Icicle Sphere, but I am going to shield it up as I do want to take him out and not take loads of Powder Snow damage on my Swampert. This Mirror Shot will KO from this range if they let it through, which they do. We now swap out into Swampert. In the back is a Haunter. We sneak the Mud Shot and this is going to be a good game. It's 5-5 to their Shadow Punch and it is 5-4 to our Hydro Cannon, so we are going to outpace. If they got a sneak and we did not, they would actually win CMP on the second one. But as we snuck, this game is absolutely over. Swampert beats Haunter. Back out comes the Walrein and we Mud Shot it down. Moving on into the next battle. We see Defense Deoxys in the lead. This is another reason why I've switched from Skarmory to Fortress, as Fortress dominates Defense Deoxys, whereas Skarmory loses. That Thunderbolt really does chunk, even though Deoxys isn't very attack weighted, but Shadow Skarmory doesn't have the best bulk. In this matchup, they switched out into a Drapion. We no-shielded the Crunch. We managed to take him out with a Hydro Cannon. We actually got one extra Mud Shot off farm, which is absolutely beautiful. We draw a shield from the Deoxys, so this game is looking pretty good. They're going to dump some energy, so we're going to allow Swampert to go down. I'm going to come in with Sableye, as our Fortress already has some residual energy, so we're going to choose to get ahead on energy with Sableye. You can see, if you look into the right, I did attempt to catch the Icicle Sphere on my Fortress. I was unsuccessful. We attempt to catch the second time. This time we are successful, so I don't know why we didn't manage to do it the first time. As 2-turn versus 2-turn, a swap should always be available. It was not, but we do manage to catch and 2 shield flex in the next battle. We see Swampert in the lead, which is really tricky for this team. I switch to Sableye and they switch into Walrus. This battle is where I make a misplay, so this is why it's in the video. You're going to see it is one of the losses, but it was a battle that perhaps we could have won. So we are going to allow Sableye to lose this matchup, and I'm going to come in with Fortress and look to Bug Bite down, which is going to be the play, because obviously we're going to need to get all the way to an Earthquake to threaten the Swampert. So we do come in, we Bug Bite down. So far, so good. Back out comes the Swampert. I'm going to tank one move, and I'm going to switch out into my own Swampert. So we do tank it. We've banked all that residual energy. We come in with Swampert. I am going to look to get ahead on some energy. It's all going to be about what's in the back. In the back is a Frostlass. So we're so far ahead on energy, we are going to get shield parity in this matchup. And I believe the correct play would have been to just allow Swampert to go down. I'm going to draw a shield here. You can see that these Mud Shots are really chunking. I'm thinking perhaps I can Mud Shot down, but you're going to see I absolutely cannot. It's 6-6-5 to Avalanche. So I'm going to be forced to throw my energy. I think I should have just come in with Fortress, committed to the Bug Bite down and save my shield, because this Swampert is going to outpace me. I fire off a Hydro Cannon. I need to make a catch as they've got loads of residual energy. They didn't throw their energy, or even if they did, I come in with Fortress. You can see Mirror Shot does absolutely nothing. They're almost at the back-to-back. I believe they're 2 away and I'm 3 away. So we're going to get outpaced 1 and 2 and they're at the move and we lose the battle. Perhaps even taking Switch in that mid-game would have allowed us a chance at winning, as we could have aligned Fortress onto the Frostlass, which could have been more advantageous. We could chank a Shadow Ball and the Mirror Shots would hit for super effective, but either way you can't win them all. So getting into this battle, we see a Walrus in the lead. This opponent is choosing to stay in, so we are going to spam out some Mirror Shots, hoping for some attack drops. We do not get it. The opponent can now take me out with an Earthquake if they choose. For some reason in this battle I'm choosing to shield it up, I normally allow it to go down. They have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and as they are staying in, I imagine it is going to be the Walrein Trevenant core. As they're shielding, it's definitely Walrein Trevenant. So I'm going to call the Rockside bait. It is the Rockside bait. Perhaps it's not even a bait. They can just go double Rockside. But either way, I am not going to shield up shit. We are going to use Shadow Swampert to beat Trevenant, because that is what we like to do on this channel. Loads of unnecessary plays just because we're in the season of Spy. So I say even when I am grinding, I like to make unnecessary plays. So it is a guessing game. You need to catch the Seed Bomb, and that's exactly what we do. Seed Bomb is double resist. It does absolutely nothing. The opponent is switch locked, so we are going to fire off these mirror shots, hoping for some attack drops. We don't get the attack drop. The opponent is desperately trying to get to the back-to-back or Shadow Claw me down. They are unable to do so. So Forretress gets rid of the Trevenant. We've got back-to-back Hydro Cannons ready for this Galarian Stunfisk, and we still win the battle, which is absolutely great to see. So I don't normally shield my Forretress in the lead. I don't know why I did in that battle, but it is what it is. You can obviously shield, take switch, or you can come in and either Mud Shot down or Shadow Claw down. But either way, you're sitting pretty good. Forretress is a lot better than Skarmory would be. So if you are a fan of the Skarmory Swampert core, I highly recommend try out the Forretress Swampert cores. There's a lot better in this meta, and we all know Shadow Sableye is an absolute monster. So that was my 21 and 4 run. It wasn't all the battles. I think I showcased 3 sets here, or 15 battles, something like that. I did lose 1 to a double Razor Leaf team. I'm absolutely not going to show that, because double Razor Leaf is absolutely bullshit. We don't show that nonsense on this channel. So if you enjoyed the content, I appreciate it if you smash the like button. If you're new, consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.